Hey guys, we're going to be in Acts chapter 2, verse 42. Acts chapter 2, verse 42. And it says this, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayers. It's talking about the early church. It's talking about the early church. And here's the thing that I want you to remember. This is why church is so important. It's not just, from Hebrews or any of these other places where it talks about, hey, listen, to be in church is to be faithful. It's to do what God's asked you to do. You say, well, Ryan, I don't need church in order to be a Christian. No, but you need church to be an obedient Christian. Amen. This is what it said. They continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. They were listening to the apostles, probably taking notes, listening, doing what they were asking them to do. This is before they had a lot of the letters. Maybe some of these churches were beginning to get a letter or two or something like that. But you remember, this is very, very early on in church. So this is a very big deal. So when we're looking at this, I want you to understand that they're listening to the apostles. They're hearing the doctrine. They're hearing this new thing that came from Judaism into the new Christian faith. They're listening to the doctrine. So there's somewhere where they can listen to that. Listening to that, they're in fellowship with one another. All right, they're spending time with one another. They're talking about what they learned. All right, Sunday schools, all these different things like that we do today is similar to what they were doing back then. All right, so here's the deal. They continue steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in the breaking of bread and in prayers. Breaking of bread meaning they were doing communion together, but also outside of that, they were eating together, they were spending time together, but they were doing communion together, they were praying together. They were not stopping in their prayer. They were praying for one another. They were praying for the future of the church. They were praying for the growth of the church. They were praying for courage. They were praying for ability. They were praying for power. All of these things. They stayed in this. They stayed in the apostles' doctrine. They stayed in the word, and this would be applying to us. Stayed in the word. They listened to the sermons. They soaked that up. They spoke to one another. They had classes. They learned the word. All right? This is talking about us at this point and how this, reflects in our own life. They gladly received the word, is what the verse says before that. They gladly received it. They continue steadfastly in doctrine, in fellowship, spending time with one another, eating together, spending time outside of the church together. All right, and in breaking of bread and in prayers. You can't beat that, guys. They're doing communion together. They're loving on one another. They are the strength for one another. They're encouraging one another. They're building one another. They're praying for one another and over one another. This is what church is about. This is why you have it. You don't have it just to have something else to do. You have it so you can listen to the word, learn the word, commune together, eat together, have communion together, remembering what Christ did. And then this last part is so good. All right? In the breaking of bread and in prayers. We need each other. We need to pray over each other. We need to believe for each other. We need to stand in the gap for each other. Oh my goodness. Good stuff. We need each other. We need church. Love you guys. Bye-bye.